This is Johnny Nelson, and you're watching Sporting Icons.
Now, I get sent so many articles and videos and clips and this, that and the other on a daily basis, and I don't have enough hours and minutes in the day to watch them, so usually I kind of won't click them. Plus, for the fact you don't really know what it is that you're clicking on, okay? So I always tend to err with a cautionary side and just not click on links, okay? But I'm seeing today a lot of people are sending me the same video today. So I think, oh, okay, then so there's got to be something in it. Obviously, people are trying to help me with content, which of course I do appreciate. So I click it and it opens up PBC on Fox. You've got the 2009 Boxing Hall of Famer in Larry Merchant, of course, the voice of HBO for the longest time. You've got Sean Porter there. You've got some girl who sounds English to me, or British, whatever. And some other guy, I don't know who that is. And before people start jumping up and down, what, you don't know who that is? You surely should know. No, I don't know who it is, all right? I do apologise. I tend to look at what's on my own front doorstep rather than outside the country first. Okay, that's kind of how I am. But obviously I know Sean Porter, Larry Merchant, of course, we see clips in that of him popping up here, there and everywhere, most famously with the Floyd Mayweather, if I was 40 years younger, all that kind of stuff, right? But HBO we don't have here in the UK, but with Larry Merchant, we just hear clips and things like that of him, but we kind of know who he is. Now, PBC on Fox, that's Deontay Wilder's own platform. Okay, now it's okay for me as a Brit to mock and laugh at Deontay Wilder, because Deontay Wilder mocked and laughed at Anthony Joshua, and of course so did a section of his fan base. So now the boot is firmly on our foot with a steel toe cap fully intact, and we're going to give Wilder all the kicking that we could possibly give, just to make his fan base cry a little bit more. Okay, his section of fan base, not his true fans, but you kind of know who they are. So now it's kind of our turn. So it's okay for the likes of me and Dillian Whyte fans, Tyson Fury fans, Anthony Joshua fans to go at Deontay Wilder. Because, listen, for me, I've been saying for the longest time, and I'm certainly not putting down Tyson Fury's achievement there, put that guy in the Hall of Fame, right? But he's been a loss waiting to happen for a long, long time. So for me, it came as no surprise. And for many people, it didn't either. But for PBC on Fox, Deontay Wilder's own platform, they were throwing Deontay Wilder under the bus. Now, to start with, I ain't going to lie, I found it funny. I'm listening along as I'm doing the dishes now. I'm going, wow, go on, go get him. Yeah, this is brilliant. They're saying how this could be one of the worst excuses in boxing, in the history of boxing, as to why somebody lost the fight. In other words, he ain't manning up and owning that loss and things like that. And I'm finding it funny. And I'm going, yeah, go on, this is great. But after a while, it was even starting to wear a little bit thin on me. I'm like, but this is Wilder's own platform. Imagine if Sky Sports did that to Anthony Joshua after he lost, or Sky Sports did that to Dillian Whyte. I'd be a little bit annoyed about it. If BT Sport did it to Tyson Fury, I'll be annoyed about it. So I can only imagine how these guys feel about PBC. PBC, a network, a platform that a lot of the Wilder fanatics champion for and throw DAZN under the bus and throw ESPN and everybody else under the bus except for the PBC. Okay, and here they are, PBC, turning on Deontay Wilder, throwing him under the bus. He's exposed, all that kind of thing. This is the kind of narrative that they're giving out. And I'm thinking, okay, after a while, this is actually a little bit annoying to me now. I'm like, should you really be doing that? And part of me is actually feeling a little bit sorry for Wilder. Not that I feel sorry for Wilder. Him losing is one of the greatest days of my life. I ain't going to lie, right? Because I know it hurts the section of his racial fan base, okay? Now, going through this video, I'm starting to think, okay, you know, enough's enough now. Surely you should be championing him to come back. But Larry Merchant is like, he's saying he woke up on a Sunday morning happy. Like, this is a great Sunday. But the impression that he was giving me, again, I'm a Brit, okay? So I'm looking from the outside in. I don't know the things that goes on in America, okay? We don't really get shown that much unless you really go looking for it. I mean, why would I go looking for it? So I tend to look at what's on my own front doorstep before anything else. So the world of racial isn't really around me, so I don't really see it. In fact, the only kind of racial things that I see is, unfortunately, here on YouTube with some uploaders not liking white people. That's as far as it goes for me. I don't really hear it back towards others. Maybe there are, and I'm not picking up on it. It's possible. But for the first time in probably a long time, I'm looking at Larry Merchant going, are you actually a secret Klan member or something? Because, as I said before, I'm a Brit. I'm not a black guy, but I felt uncomfortable. I don't like racism from all sides. I don't care what skin color you are. I don't care what religion you are. I don't care what sex you are. I don't care about any of it. I really don't care. And with Wilder, for me, it's never been about his skin color or anything like that. It's just that he happens to be a rival of my guys. White, Joshua, Fury, right? So it's never ever been about where it is that he's from, as in Alabama, and apparently that's quite a bit of a hotbed for racism, okay? I don't know. But to hear Larry Merchant saying that Deontay Wilder could be the last black hope for American heavyweights, as in a black guy, the last black heavyweight champion from America, and he's happy about it. And I'm looking at this guy, and I'm thinking, am I actually witnessing this? No, he can't be really saying that. He can't be. I must be missing something, because Sean Porter sat there smiling and laughing and clapping. I'm like, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I'm misunderstanding, which is entirely possible, of course. But the impression that I was getting was he's happy, not because Wilder lost, but because he believes that he was the last black heavyweight champion from America. And that's what he's happy about. I'm thinking, okay, so you don't want any more Mike Tyson's, Muhammad Ali's, etc. And all the guys coming through, even up to like Michael Hunter and Big Baby Jarrah Miller. No, we don't want you because you're the wrong skin color. If a white guy comes along, hey, all hail the white king. That's the impression that I'm getting from Larry Merchant. As I could be totally wrong, and if I am wrong, I do apologise. But that's the impression that I was getting. Like, he's happy, not because Wilder lost, not because he got exposed, not because something happened to him that we could all see happening, but because he's a black guy and he lost. And we may never see a black American heavyweight champion again. Now, for me and many guys here, when we look at the history of heavyweight boxing, heavyweight is the daddy of them all, right? When you start coming up with a list of maybe a top 5 heavyweights of all time, you're going to be putting in Americans. Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield, George Foreman, Riddick Bowe, and Jack Johnson, all these kind of guys. Some of these names will appear in that list. Will they not? In fact, it's probably a very good chance, like 3, maybe 4 of the top 5 best heavyweights ever are probably going to be black American, right? Maybe. Depends on how you look at it. But for him to be happy about that, I'm thinking, am I actually witnessing in 2020 a white guy sat there with cameras pointing at him for the whole world to see, for him to not just keep it behind closed doors, as I'm sure many of these old white people do in America, but to actually quite expressively be happy that we may never see a black American heavyweight champion of the world again. And I'm like, is this guy, does he have a clan costume in his wardrobe or something? I feel very uncomfortable listening to this. I felt very uncomfortable watching this. I'm not American, okay? I'm not a black guy. But I felt uncomfortable looking at this going, what the hell? With Sean Porter sat there, a black guy, clapping, laughing. I'm like, so maybe I have misunderstood it. Maybe I have. And I'm going to put a link to this in the description box for you guys to go have a watch for yourself. Listen, it's funny in the fact that they're kind of like almost celebrating Deontay Wilder's own network, throwing him under the bus. It's like these guys are slapping Deontay Wilder fans firmly across the mush. Say, thank you for your support, but screw you. We don't need you. We don't want you. That's what they're saying. That's the impression I was getting. And to start with, it's kind of funny. But after a while, it was starting to wear thin. And when Larry Merchant will start coming out with Deontay Wilder, the last black hope, the last black American heavyweight champion, and smiling about it like Sunday was a good day to wake up, because we no longer have a black American heavyweight champion of the world. In fact, he's championing for a British guy, a white British guy, more than his own countryman. I'm like, what am I missing here? I said, maybe I'm missing it. Maybe I'm just don't get the American lingo, which is entirely possible, okay? But maybe I don't. And if I don't, I apologise. Larry Merchant, listen, man, I apologise. I'm misunderstanding. But from this point that I'm making this video right now, that's how I'm seeing it. Now, I don't know. I'm pretty sure that there's going to be loads of black Americans out there. If they start going in on Larry Merchant for it, it'll probably suggest that my initial instinct is correct. But if they're not, hey, listen, I'm going to hold my hands up and say, okay, I misunderstood it. I don't quite get the American lingo. All right. This whole black versus white, white versus black, It's not for me. It really isn't for me. I don't care if you're American or what. It's just not for me. I'm not putting myself on any kind of pedestal or anything like that, but that kind of thing ain't for me. I don't care what colour skin you are. I couldn't give a damn. It's never, ever in my entire life been something that I've ever thought about. But in America, I don't know, is racism still alive and kicking? It appears that way, doesn't it? And now I'm starting to understand a little bit as to why some of the black uploader channels have a real dislike for white people. If there are a lot of the people, such as a Larry Merchant in America, if indeed he is actually being racist, I'm starting to understand it a little bit. Anyway, as I said, I'll put a link to it in the description box. You guys go give it a read for yourself, or not a read, but a watch, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Subscribe.